One of the most confusing cases in absolute value equations, according to my students, is the equation with absolute value on both sides. So let's say you need to solve something like this. Absolute value of 4x minus 3 equals absolute value of x plus 6. So before I'll get into the solution and the steps, I would like to analyze this equation. So what are we trying to do? First thing first. What are we trying to do? We're trying to find the number that will substitute x with, and it will give us a true statement. And in the end, when we'll get the statement, what should we expect? So what to expect in the end? After equation will be solved and we'll substitute number into equation instead of x and calculate left and right, we will get something like this. Absolute value of 12, for example, and then on the other side, absolute value of 12. Equality, equality, absolute value on both sides, and then we'll have a number, and statement is true. Absolute value of 12 equals absolute value of 12. I picked the 12 as a random number. I don't know what number I'm gonna end up with, but the statement will be something like that. Or absolute value of negative 12 equals absolute value of negative 12. True. Another option, absolute value of negative 12 equals absolute value of 12. True as well. And then absolute value of 12 equals absolute value of negative 12 as a possibility. So all those statements, all four statements are true. There's no more. It's only 4 of them. And if you take a close look to the first two, we have alike signs, meaning both positives and both negatives. Like signs. The two other statements, we have unlike signs, negative, positive, positive, negative. Unlike signs. So possible outcomes. We'll have like signs, unlike signs. The reason I'm concentrating on this because our next step based on those facts. So let's go back to the original equation. We have two statements or two expressions that will turn into the number as we just discussed. After we'll find the x and substitute into the equation. And the possible outcomes are 4x minus 3, so the first one with the like signs, equals to x plus 6. So both of them positive. There is a chance that both of them will be negative, but if two sides are negative, what I can do, I can divide by negative 1, so negative is going to be canceled and they will become a positive. So this option we can bypass and use two positives that will represent the like signs. Now, the second option will have one positive and one negative, unlike signs. And it doesn't matter which one positive, which one negative, because if, let's say, I decided to divide both sides by -1, then the first will become negative and second will become positive. So I will use this option that will represent unlike signs. So now I have two linear equations that needs to be solved. First equation, what we can do, we can add 3 to the both sides. And I'll get 4x equals x plus 9. Then subtract x from both sides. And I'll get 3x equals 9. Divide by 3. and I'll get x equals 3. The second equation, what I'm going to do, I will distribute minus inside of parentheses first. So I'll have 4x minus 3 equals minus x minus 6. Then I'll add 6 to both, well actually, I'll add x to both sides. So I'll have, I would like to keep x's on the left, so it will be 5x minus 3 equals negative 6. Then I'll add 3 to the both sides. I'll have 5x equals negative 3. And then divide both sides by 5. X equals negative 3/5.